Hello, and welcome to a new video on a Look Through Time channel, where I explore historical photos. Please relax, make yourself comfortable, and enjoy the show. Muriel Angelus, Anglo-American singer and film actress of the 1930s, whose career began at the age of 12. Having moved to Hollywood at the age of 29, she was not very successful compared to her career in England. The youngest of the Lane sisters, popular American film actresses in the 1930s, Priscilla had a good career in film. But in 1942 she got married, after which her acting career came to an end. Pat Royal, who began her career in the 20s. Patricia Royal acted until the late 30s. Rochelle Hudson, famous American actress who actively acted in films from the 1930s to the 1960s. The peak of his career came at the height of the Great Depression. Zori Maritza, British actress who starred in popular films in the early 30s. She tried to make a career in Hollywood, but the public did not accept her warmly enough. The artist's career ended after her marriage in 1934. Thelma Todd, one of the beauty pageant winners who ended up in a big movie. She played mostly supporting roles, appearing in more than 100 films. She successfully made the transition from silent films to talkies, achieving great popularity in the early 1930s with a series of comedy films. Frances Drake, having started her career as a dancer, Frances quickly moved to films, where she continued to successfully act in the period from 1933 to 1942. In February 1939, Drake married Lieutenant Cecil John Arthur Howard and soon retired from her career. Fay Wray began acting in films in 1919. The peak of her career was marked by her performance as an Darrow in the film King Kong in '33, which made her one of the iconic characters. In the history of popular cinema, Kong Girl, she stopped acting in films in 1942 after marrying screenwriter Robert. Edna Callahan, popular Hollywood film actress of the 1930s. Eleanor Powell, American actress and dancer of the 1930s and 1940s, known for her dance routines. Alice White. The debut of this actress with French and Italian roots took place in 1927. Over the next decades, the actress starred in several dozen films, but gradually her career faded away, and she returned to work as a secretary. An actress and singer, Alice Faye made her Broadway debut in King 31, and 3 years later made her way to the movies, when her musical was adapted into a film. This was followed by new successful film roles, where Faye performed not only as an actress, but also as a singer. Her career continued to develop. Elsa Lanchester, British and American actress, is best known for her role of the monster's friend in the film Bride of Frankenstein. Elsa had a long and successful career from the 1930s until 1980. Ida Lupino, British and American actress. Ida became one of the first female directors in film history, whose career lasted from the 1930s to 1978. Armo Ingram, a talented actress and dancer. Armo acted in films from the late 20s to the early 40s, but mostly played small roles as chorus girls. Bessie Hart starred in musicals and dramas, and was famous for her ability to skate, including roller skating. The most famous film with her participation was Ice Madness 1939, about the life of figure skaters. Victoria Winton, film actress who gained wide fame due period 1932 to 1940. Wynne Gibson is a Hollywood actress who began appearing in TV series and films as an actress from 1929 to 1954. Gail Patrick. While studying at the university, she took part in a national selection at the Paramount Pictures studio, which ultimately led her to cinema. Her debut took place in 1933. She achieved real success towards the end of the 1930s, thanks to the roles of femme fatales, intriguers and villa. Jean Lorraine, one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses of the 1930s. Jean Parker is an American actress whose career was not turbulent. She appeared in a total of 15 films between the mid-1930s and the mid-1950s. Was one of the highest-paid actresses in the United States. Starting from the 40s, she began to act less often and mostly in minor roles. However, she was nominated for an Oscar in 1951 and continued her career as an actress until the end of her life. Judith Barrett, screen star who starred in leading female roles from the late 20s to the early 40s. Another creative pseudonym for Judith is Nancy Dover. Juliette Compton began her career during the silent film era. She danced in the Ziegfeld Follies show. She filmed first in Britain and then in the USA. The most famous sound film with her participation was the film Lady Hamilton 1941. Karen Morley began her acting career in the theatre in Pasadena and immediately achieved serious success, playing roles in the films Mata Hari, Scarface and other MGM films. In 1934, she left the studio and began acting less in leading roles. Her career finally collapsed in the late 1940s. Constance Cummings is an American-British actress whose career began on Broadway in 1926 and spans over 50 years in theatre and film. Mae Clarke is an American actress. She is widely remembered for her role as Elizabeth, Henry Frankenstein's fiancée, who is pursued by Boris Karloff in Frankenstein, and for receiving half a grapefruit from James Cagney in The Public Enemy. Both films were released in 1931. Her career lasted until 1970. Marion Martin is an American actress. Her acting career began on the stage, and in 1927, she made her debut on Broadway. Her film career, which lasted from 1934 to 1952, included about 80 films. Most of her roles were supporting roles, and her name was sometimes not included in the credits. Marion Marsh is an American film actress of Trinidadian origin. In 1931, after appearing in a number of short films, Marsh landed one of her most important roles in Svengali opposite John Barrymore. After her career ended in 1959, she became an environmentalist